Scotty J on CNN clashed with Ana Navarro. I want to show you that. I also want to give you the context that we reviewed where he goes on stage with Trump and he messes up his one line. But before getting into that, I find talking about him actually really interesting because he represents what is so wrong with politics, especially media. Political media, it pays better for so many people to play a character instead of being authentic and genuine. We heard in the wake of Trump disgracing himself with his attack against the democracy, Scott Jennings really walk away from MAGA. And then he saw, wait, no, the way I can get a lucrative TV deal is to be a Trump cheerleader. And unfortunately, because I get why you want to have debate, I've had plenty of right-wingers on here to debate. I get why you want that. Then people like Scott Jennings end up being rewarded for playing this character of MAGA that I really don't think he believes to his bones. But before showing you Ana Navarro here, calling him out for being a Trump shill, you may remember as we covered live and then reviewed afterwards, Trump brought Scotty J on stage and our boy Scott, he messed up his one line. Oh no, Scott. And he's kind of like, he's glistening, not in a good way. And he's smiling like he's just a little boy so excited to meet his hero.
I've watched him for years. I don't know him, but he likes Trump. Come here, Scott. Oh, CNN, this is the end of Scott. No, who cares? Don't worry, we'll take care of you, Scott. Scott Jennings, really great.
Thank you. Michigan. We were flying in here today, and I said, look at these farms. I got to get a farm in Michigan, because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all. Thank you all very much.
It's too good.
Legalized comedy.
You got to put a place to put them on.
And I said, look at these farms. I got to get a farm in Michigan, because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all.
Yeah. No, true. I get it. I get what you're saying. I saw him post something like, I got a little overly excited or something. Keep your wits about yourself. He walks on with his little notebook and he's like, hi. Oh my gosh, Trump, it's so nice to meet you. Do you really smell that? Oh my gosh, you gotta do. That's so exciting. I'm never gonna clean my nose. Anyways, with that context in mind, him messing up his one moment, you gotta put a place to put him on, hey? And Trump, it's this, I just hate it. It's a humiliation ritual. He brings these people who have said the most vicious things against him in the past, as Jennings has. And then Trump's sway over the GOP forces them to be just another cheerleader. It's like when Megyn Kelly came on stage of Trump's statement about blood coming out of, I don't know where fame. And she comes on stage and goes, woo, yeah, he's great, he's amazing. And he just stands behind and smiles. It's just so nauseating. Well, here he is doing the whole, how dare you say dictator. And Ana Navarro wasn't having it.
And to act as a dictator. Oh,
come on, Anna. He did not promise to be a dictator.
He didn't promise retribution?
He didn't. You just said he promised to be a dictator. Are you still going with this?
Scott, those were his. I'm quoting
You still don't get it. All these months later, the left still doesn't get it.
Listen, I'm not going to shill for him, even if it doesn't get me a right on the first one.
We're gonna leave that one alone. I mean, we've litigated the dictator on day one.
You're gonna let it go? You're gonna let these insults go?
I mean, I'm
What's the insult? What's the insult?
No, you just said, Scott, I'm not here shilling.
I am not going to let us go down the rabbit hole. Trump said, I'm going to be a dictator on day one, but he was referring to immigration. So in a way, you are both correct, but the context is not exactly, just a dictator plainly. So there you go. Is that okay, Scott? Good enough?
Whatever you want.
All right, there you go.
Whatever you want. Whatever I want. It's never whatever I want. When you wanted to see what was it? When you said you weren't sure you would have kids, who got the vasectomy? Then when you said you might want to have kids, who had the vasectomy reversed? Then when you said you definitely didn't want to have kids, who got a vasectomy again? Snip, snap, snip, snap. You have no idea the physical toll that 3 vasectomies has on a man. to quote The Office. And here's the deal. You are a Trump shill. Sorry. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but you are. But I'm so sick of that. This is why some of you asked me when I would go on, like I did this on Temple, went on, and they would bring up this word fascism. Is he a fascist? And they would really want to get bogged down. Or is he going to be a dictator? Like, let's get hyper fixated on one of these words and then play definition games. Did he literally say, I want to be a dictator? Well, that example is bad because yes, he did say that, but it was a joke. Okay, fine. Then I don't think that definitionally fascist means the thing that you're saying that fascist means. And if we look at this exact definition, then that whole conversation, the reason I would go, no, I don't, shh. I do have more clips, by the way, but I don't want to talk about that. Here's what I want to talk about. Do you stand by Trump's attempt to overturn the election? I would call that fascistic, but we don't have to even play with the labels. Let's just say, do you support that? Because if you do, I have a problem with it, would like to debate that. Do you support him going after law firms he doesn't like? Do you support him disappearing people? Do you support him going after Harvard? Do you support his attack on CBS that's one of the greatest attacks on the First Amendment you could possibly imagine? Do you support him admitting he wants to throw out due process for the sake of these deportations? So yeah, we could play the definition game. Does he want to be a dictator? Obviously, yes. But the semantics is where they want to stay because the substance is where they know they will fail. Now, at a different point in this same discussion, Scott Jennings did the whole, calm down. Why are you getting so angry? You're so hysterical.
But he said the most interesting thing that these guys have been able to do for us is we inherited a massive backlog of things that the previous administration left us, and we were unable to really deal with it because of IT issues. And he said these guys showed up over here and they made a huge impact on our IT infrastructure, which then allowed us to clear out a backlog of outstanding issues that we were just having trouble getting to.
So wait, this is now an IT issue? No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I mean, America
wanted to see actual cuts, and now we're going to say
that. No, he just said they don't. Which is it?
No, I'm saying most Americans actually did want to see.
He said he's mad about the cuts.
Okay, well, I'm talking as Gretchen Carlson. I'm not talking as Dave.
Is a person who has a different point of view. She's allowed to have that.
Most Americans would agree that they want to get rid of fraud and waste. And now you're saying that the greatest accomplishment of DOGE was that they've solved IT problems?
And I spoke to another cabinet secretary yesterday who said this has been a, quote, wonderful accelerant.
So what?
This continues.
Politicians
the program
say
continues.
Whatever they say to be able to put on a good face.
Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry. I'm frustrated.
I mean, you look enraged.
I'm frustrated like most Americans because we want to know where the cuts are.
Gretchen, let me just hit pause here. I mean, look. People get worked up at this table, yourself included, all the time. Let's not call people angry when they're simply making a point.
Well, she's very upset.
Like I just have to say that because I think that
you're blaming it on IT.
Let's deal with.
I'm not blaming anything. I'm saying it was a good byproduct.
Scott and Gretchen, just give me 1 second, okay? Let's deal with the issues at hand. We don't have to, say you're angry, this. She's just making a point, okay?
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we do have to leave this one there.
I'm glad they cut to the wide shot because what he was about to do, he does this thing where I wish I had my mug, but he'll kind of like try to provoke somebody, and then he'll look sort of the Jim. I'm sorry for all these Office representatives, but the Jim look, he'll be like, kind of, oh, these liberals are so crazy, so that the MAGA audience members, not necessarily watching it live, but whenever he clips it for his channel and goes, oh, I own another lib, gonna have to put it on the farm that I put him on. And luckily it didn't catch that one, but he loves the sort of, ooh, they're so angry, I got them, lol. Because again, we live, just so all of you know, and I've probably failed on this before. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but that's such a funny phrase. I'm not saying I'm perfect, like as if that would be the assumption. But don't allow your political advocacy to be defined on how much you can trigger the other side, right? This whole, the goodness and the entertainment of a clip is purely because someone you don't like got upset. I'm sure I've seen a really upset MAGA person and gone, this is, I'm getting satisfaction out of this, and I shouldn't do that when I do it. I'm admitting. But MAGA does it to an extent you just really can't fathom, which is as a principle, which is part of the reason for Trump's popularity, owning the libs, which is why he phrased it that way, is it's virtuous. It's sort of virtuous to be able to upset someone as long as they're a liberal, and it defines kind of his whole advocacy there. And don't, on your end, wherever you land on the political spectrum, don't do that. It's just it's kind of the lowest common denominator type thinking and approach to politics. But then it is funny, what was causing the other person on the panel to react was that there's a lot of this shifting of the goalposts, like Doge is going to come in and cut $1 trillion of fraud. And then as that doesn't happen and they just get caught in a bunch of lies and they're really terrible and they're just dismantling agencies that were doing good things, then it's, well, they helped with IT. Okay, that doesn't seem very aligned with what you were previously saying. Then it looks like Tesla's board might be looking for a different CEO. And that was a Wall Street Journal report. And Scott Jennings says, no, I'm going to correct you on that.
God forbid private sector people decide to engage in public service. I guess it's only reserved for the government.
So sell your stock and do it the right way. Don't have conflicts of interest
on Tesla,
and play poker with the entire country.
The stock. Anybody know what it is year over year? It's up 54% year over year. It's done pretty well over the last year.
What is it since
Who
Trump
cares?
was elected?
Year over year. Year over year. It's up 54%.
Obviously cares. That's why they're looking for a new CEO.
No, they're starting a process of thinking of maybe looking for a new CEO. Look, let me tell you.
Which is, to be fair.
Let me tell you something.
By the way, if I haven't said this already, please do click the subscribe button. I may have said it. Sometimes I get lost in the segment. I can't remember. Was that last segment or this one? But do click the subscribe button. His correction is, Navarro says the board obviously cares. That's why they're looking for a new CEO. And Jennings says, no, Anna Navarro, yeah. No, they're starting a process of thinking of maybe looking for a new CEO. Well, thank you, Scott. That was very insightful. On our website, lukebeasleyshow.com, the amazing Kayla wrote an article about Musk's rage tweeting in the wake of this news. Musk, fearful of losing his favorite toy, hastily announced his departure from Doge so he can spend more time with his cash cow. In response, the search was scaled back, and the board worked with just one search firm, the Wall Street Journal reported. Musk reacted to the article on Twitter at around 1:30 a.m., which is peak all caps Twitter tirade hours. In the first tweet, he quoted a message from a Tesla spokesperson dismissing the report, adding, "It's extremely bad breach of ethics that the Wall Street Journal would publish a deliberately false article and fail to include an unequivocal denial beforehand by the Tesla board of directors. Wall Street Journal is discredit to journalism," Musk added in a later post, referencing the fact that Wall Street Journal was made aware that a Tesla spokesperson said that the story was false. This isn't the first time that the Journal has found itself at odds with Donald Trump and his allies, and goes through more context there, but who knows if this will actually happen. It would make sense that at least someone would be looking for a different leadership given what Elon has become in terms of brand toxicity. CNN reported on this as well.
Wall Street Journal just this hour. It's a headline that reads, Tesla board opens search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk. When you read the story, sources are telling the Journal that Tesla's board members started reaching out to several executive search firms, initiating a formal process to replace Musk. My source joining me tonight is the Wall Street Journal's Emily Glazer, who just broke this reporting. And Emily, thanks for joining us on such breaking news. Can you just tell us what happened here and what the board of Tesla was thinking?
Absolutely. So Tesla has been going through some pain lately. It just reported earnings last week and had profits decline about 70%. And our reporting shows that around a month ago, board members were reaching out to executive recruiting firms to start a formal CEO succession search process. This is a formal kind of next chapter. Obviously, companies do succession planning all the time for their next leader, but we know that this is happening as there was concern from investors about Musk spending too much time in DC, given his government role, and concern about the company really struggling lately.
I don't know, as a brand, I really don't know how you recover from this. I don't know how you recover from being the Elon's Tesla. Eventually, maybe it's possible, but it's never going to be the same. Myself, as someone who is currently looking for an electric vehicle, I just, even if it's 10 years in the future, I just would pick a different option. And there's other options now. Tesla's not as dominant as in the space as they used to be. And just the very fact that ever Elon was associated is enough. Not that it's the biggest deal in my life to try to boycott, but it's easy enough to just pick a different brand. And there's so many people like that. And especially when liberals are going to be more likely to purchase electric vehicles in this political environment in the United States than conservatives would be. So the audience of people that were the bigger consumer base got completely alienated. So you have other factors as well causing Tesla strife. It's not just Elon, and it's not just Elon's brand toxicity. It's also him actually just not giving as much time to leading Tesla. But this is a big factor. And I don't think it's just going to dissipate magically like COVID was supposed to, according to Trump, in 15 days. Share your thoughts in the comments.